Hi you guys, how you guys doing? It is Faven. Thank you for coming to my channel. As you can tell by the title of the video, this video is going to concentrate on a very first layer surface of migraines. The reason why I wanted to talk about migraines is because I'm actually having one right now. I have a really bad headache today. I've had a headache since I woke up this morning, and if you're a person that has migraines, you can understand what is happening right now. So there are so many different variations of migraines. So for example, I want to talk about the two different qualifications of migraines that I know of, and also the difference between a migraine and a headache as far as I know. And then I will deep dive into what an actual migraine is on our next video, doing a little bit more research and talking to different doctors and hopefully trying to get their opinions. If I can get them in a video, I will, but I might have to get a permission from the hospital to do so. So anyways, for myself, I have something called occipital neuralgia. Occipital neuralgia, if you don't know what occipital neuralgia is, it's so painful. It hurts so bad, like no matter what medication you take, the pain is not going to go. So the way if people say it feels like I have ice picks going through the back of my skull, that is like one huge common symptom or common way to describe how it feels. It really feels like you have a metal sharp knife going back in your skull. So the way I was diagnosed with occipital neuralgia is that when I was having migraines, regular headaches, but most of the headaches were in the back of my head. And every time I get my blood pressure checked, we were thinking like, okay, maybe you might have high blood pressure. It was never because we don't have that much. My mom doesn't. I don't think she has high blood pressure. I know my father has heart-related issue, but blood pressure is not that big of a problem in our family. Mostly diabetes and heart disease. Even though high blood pressure could lead to heart disease, diabetes could lead to heart disease. It's just most of my family are not on any blood pressure medication. Let's just say that. That's just a simple way to explain it. So, these migraines were so bad that I couldn't concentrate on anything I was doing. I couldn't concentrate on simple tasks like driving, talking to someone. It got to the point where the pain that I was receiving in the back of my head was so painful that it felt like I could feel every single strand of the back of my head of hair. If I even so happened to touch my head like that, I'd be jumping in pain. Like the slightest touch, I would jump off and feel like I'm about to scream and cry because it was so tender. It felt like lightning bolts going through the back of your head. And when it first started happening, it was like once or twice a day. And then it started increasing to 4 or 5 times a day. Then it started increasing every hour. And then it started increasing every 30 minutes. And then every 15 minutes. And then it was like 20, 30 times a minute of the voltage that I was feeling back here. So it's like, I counted. This is the honest goddess truth. In 1 minute, I felt the voltage in my head, the back of my head, at least 20 times. In 60 seconds, 20 seconds of accumulation of constant voltage in the back of my head. And I was crying. I was just crying because I don't know where this pain was coming from. So I was just crying and crying. I was on my way to work. I got to work and I got myself composed, even though I was in so much pain. They could see in my face that like every time it hits, I would jump, because it's literally like a voltage. Every time it hits, I would jump. They're like, what's wrong? And I just bust out crying and told them I'm like 10 out of 10, the worst headache of your life. I was like, it's 10 out of 10. It's more than 10. And my blinker's not working, so I gotta show them what I am turning with my hand because my blinker works and sometimes it doesn't work. Now it wants to work. So, anyways, so those voltage were extremely painful. When they told me I can't work, but I will be able to be a patient. I was given IV fluids. I was given Toral injection, and also I was given Valium. That was the first time I've ever had Valium. It was not the tablet form of Valium they gave me. It was the injection form of Valium. They injected me with that. I was knocked out. It took the pain away because I was on so much medication. It took the pain away for just a little bit, but I was told if the pain comes back, I need to go straight to the emergency room. So I got home, went back to sleep. Maybe an hour or two later, the pain was back. So at that time, I was not diagnosed with occipital neuralgia. It was just something I was dealing with. For about 6 months, I was dealing with this same pain. I was just popping pills. Every 8 hours, every 6 hours, I was taking 800 milligram Motrin. Within the 8 hours, 4 hours later, I was taking 400 milligram of Tylenol. It was to the point I was taking so many medications that I start feeling sick. Like, if you take too much Tylenol, too much Motrin or whatever, it's going to start affecting your liver and your kidneys. So I was feeling those pains. Like, my body was breaking down because I was taking so much medication. And I finally got a referral because I finally went to my doctor. I'm like, okay, I've been trying to deal with this on my own, and the things that we've been doing together from my primary care is not working. I need to see a neurologist. Saw a neurologist. 5 minutes of me sitting down talking to him, letting him know exactly how I felt. He said, you have occipital neuralgia. I kind of knew I had occipital neuralgia because I researched it online on YouTube. Have headaches, the back of my skull feels like glass going through it, whatever. And it came up a lot of videos about occipital neuralgia. And I asked him about it, and he said, yes, that is occipital neuralgia. And one of the ways to deal with it is to be on high dose of prednisone, which is a steroid. Steroids are excellent for you if you are taking them when you need to take them, because they will make you feel so hungry. They make you feel hot. They will make you gain weight. I blew up on prednisone. I had to do an IV infusion of prednisone for 4 hours. They had to infuse so much of prednisone in my body. It was so high of prednisone. Like, I don't know how to describe it to you. My phone is lagging. But that's one way it took the pain away. It didn't take the pain 100% away. It took the pain, like 75% of the pain was gone. And then after being in the infusion chair for 4 or 5 hours of constant prednisone, I had some, and then some other medication also. So that's got taken care of. The reason why I had it is because I have a history of Bell's palsy, and my Bell's palsy flares up only when I'm like in extreme distress, and it flares up. So I think with Bell's palsy, migraines, and occipital neuralgia, it just became one massive thing to where it just 2015 or 2013. I think 2014 was a year of just constant migraines. I was on prednisone like half of the year, basically. And so if you are a person that deals with migraines, I suggest that you make sure you take care of it, because if you don't take care of this migraines, they are going to be to the point where it's going to ruin your life. Now, since I've had so many migraine episodes, I've had so much of migraines, and not only esophageal neuralgia, but I get my migraine on my left side of my head. Um, that's where the side of the Bell's palsy was. So that's when I started feeling it. Now I have scar tissue in my brain on the left side. And my phone is lagging. I don't know what's wrong with this phone.